Hi guys, today I'm creating some nails that are inspired by rugs, kind of like Turkish, Moroccan-y inspired. You're going to feel like you're on holiday when you look at these nails anyway. So I'm starting with base coat and some Nirvana, and I'm just mixing them together because I want a milky base but I don't want it too white. So I thought a light grey and base coat will probably get me what I need. So I'm just going to use a gel brush and pop this on the nail, and I think I did about 3 coats of this just to get the finish that I was after. So once that first coat's on, I'm going to pop it in the lamp to cure and then add on another couple of coats. And also, we're not going to talk about the fact that I have one hand of nails that is unfinished, because I started on the first one, filmed a video for it and thought, oh, I'll finish the other one later, and then I was really busy and ended up going to France for some work and didn't get a chance to do it. So I managed to get the grey sections that are kind of like abstract French tips, but didn't manage to do the rest. So we're not going to talk about that in the comments, and you're not going to be mean to me about it either. Thanks guys. Anyway, once that's cured, we're going in with matte coat and just putting a layer of this all over the nail. This will just mean that it's really easy for doing our detail work, because it'll have a little bit something to grip to rather than a shiny base. And once that's cured, I'm taking Ocean Depth. So this is a really deep bluey toned gel polish, really nice. And I'm just going to do a line across this nail. And this is just going to be kind of the bottom of the rug. I am going to add some tassels on at the end as well. So I'm just making sure that's nice and even. And I will be flash curing in between a lot of these sections just in case anything goes wrong and I have to wipe it off. So I'm just going in and adding some dot work. So that's all these nails are going to be, is dot work really. A little bit of fine detail brush work, but mainly dot work, so super easy. The hardest bit is just trying to make sure they're somewhat symmetrical and even, but you can always wipe it off if it's wrong. So I've just done a couple of arches and then just done some smaller ones inside there, and the dot in the middle is just kind of like an anchor point. So next I'm just taking a base, and this is just going to be one of our other colours we're using today. I'm just adding some bigger dots in between that archway that I've created. And I'm just kind of making this almost into a flower design in the middle. So I'm just adding on some dots, and then I'm just going to pull them in with a fine detail brush. So I've just got a very small amount on the actual brush, and I'm kind of just pulling the product that's on that dot into the middle. And this is super easy. Next I'm using Tranquil Seas, and I'm just adding in the rest of the kind of petals, if that's what you want to call them, and just doing them a little bit further in than the first ones so it's not too circular, and pulling them in again. And remember to flash cure in between all these sections just in case you need to wipe anything off. Next I'm using Frost. I'm just adding some dots around that flower, and I did mess up a little bit and make that one too big, so I've just wiped it off and gone in again, and that's why you need to cure in between all of these little sections. So I'm just adding a teeny tiny dot on the outside of those petals. And then I'm just going in and adding them towards the middle of the flower as well. This whole design was literally just me sat there going, shall I add another dot here, and maybe one here, and maybe one there? So there was no real rhyme or reason. Some of them I saw other designs online where I got a little bit of inspiration and shapes from, but the rest of it was kind of just, where do I think I need to put another dot? So it's really freeform, and you can do whatever you want with it. So for this bit, I'm just adding on a couple of dots on those corners, and I'm just pulling them like I did with the petals as well, and I'm just going to add a couple more on either side of that in a different colour too. So all of the colours that I'm using I've already shown on screen so far, so I probably won't show them again because you can just scrub through and find which ones they are anyway, and they'll be linked in the video and down below as well. And the only other colour I'll be using is white. So again, just going in with those dots and pulling them across. So here I'm just trying to make some almost like tassel effects on the bottom of the rug. So I'm literally just taking a small amount of product on a fine detail brush and pulling it and dragging it slightly out to the side so it's a bit feathered, and I'm going to go in with the other colours on the top too. So I've just started off with the lightest colour and then going to the darkest colours as we go on this process. Obviously I'm just going to be curing in between these sections as well, just to make sure I don't smudge everything. And I'm just going back in with some of our lighter colours like Frost, just to add some definition. Once I'm happy with the tassels, I'm just taking a dotting tool and Frost and going across the top, and these are going to be like the knots that you get at the top of tassels. So I'm just going in with a couple of colours and just adding them on top, and it'll just kind of look like those knots. Next I'm taking Snow White and just adding some little accents to this just to brighten it up even more. I just think it'll make it look a little bit fresher. So I'm just going inside some of the detail work I've already done and layering it up too, just to add a little bit of something else. I did decide as well that I wanted some more of that ocean depths on there, just to add a little bit more of that dark colour in. And there's that first nail all done. We just will finish them all at the end. So what I'm going to do for the rest of the nails, I'm just going to let you sit and watch, because it's all the same processes, there's nothing complicated, and you can just sit and relax. Make sure you've got a drink with you, put your feet up and just have a nice time. So that's pretty much all of the designs done on the nails, so I'm going to make sure they're all cured. And I'm taking our gel top coat nail sealer, because I love using this if I've done a lot of detail work, because it really evens out the texture. And I tend to use this a lot before I go in with a matte coat as well. You do want to know with our matte coats, if you've got any dark colours, you might find that if you don't wipe off the inhibition layer, it might smudge it. So either wipe that off or go in with a top coat just to seal it all in. And And once they're cured, I'm just going in with some matte coat because I wanted these matte. I thought they would work really well with the matte finish. So just nice even layer over all of those nails, and we're going to cure it again. And there we have the full set. I'm really happy with how these turned out, and I'm quite sad they're not on my own nails. I think they're quite cute. But these are great if you're going on holiday. They're very, very holiday vibes, aren't they? If you want any of the products that I've used today, they'll be tagged in the video and linked down below, and I would absolutely love to see if you recreate these or do them in different colours or are just slightly inspired by them. So make sure to tag us on social media and let us know. We'd also love to know what you would like to see next. So add a comment down below and let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye!